Hi everyone, and welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. Today we're going to be making bread bowls for soup. So let's get started. In a mixer bowl, you're going to put 3 cups of warm water, not hot, kind of to the temperature of a baby bottle, okay? Then you're going to add a half a teaspoon of sugar to that. And you're going to use dry active yeast, and it's going to be 1.5 tablespoons. Now how this works is that the sugar actually feeds the yeast. There's 1 tablespoon, and I'm just going to eyeball a half. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a whisk and whisk this together. Just until it's all mixed together. And then we're going to let that sit and get bubbly for about 5 to 10 minutes, just to let it sit. Then we can get started on the other parts. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of salt, 4 tablespoons of butter melted, 7 to 9 cups of flour. I only put 7 in here. If I need more, I'll get more. 1 tablespoon of milk, 1 egg white, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. So we're going to let that get frothy, and then we'll come back. Now that our yeast has bloomed, it's all like fluffy and frothy. Main thing is make sure your water's not too hot and that your yeast is fresh. If your yeast ain't fresh, this is not going to work. So we're going to add to this the rest of the ingredients. I just put everything together while my yeast was getting foamy, so it just makes it easier to get on the road. So this does take a little bit of time. You got to let this rise a couple times and things like that, okay? Then you're going to add your milk and your egg. And 3.5 cups of the 7 cups of flour. It doesn't have to be precise, just add what you want. And now we're going to use our dough hook, and we're going to start getting this mixed in. Start out slow because you have a lot of liquid in there. And what you're going to want is this dough to come together, leave the sides of your bowl, and you don't want it sticky on your fingers like you would pull and it would stick to your fingers. If it does that, then you need to add more flour. That's where the extra 2 cups comes in. But don't add the 2 cups all at one time. Start out with just a little bit at a time because you might not even need a full cup. It depends on your weather. It depends on what kind of egg you used, all that kind of stuff. Now I'm just going to let this mix it for a second, and now I'm going to keep adding my flour. I'm just going to do it 1 cup at a time, so I know it's getting mixed in. You can do this by hand if you want to. I just find it much easier with the mixer. Because then you're going to, once this comes together and it starts leaving the sides of the bowl and you're done adding your flour, then we're going to have the mixer knead it for 5 minutes. So my dough is really nice. I'm going to show you. I can just have none on my hands. I ended up adding the full 9 cups, but like I said, add it slowly after your first 7 because it may not take all that. Now what we're going to do is, I'm just kind of cleaning this off, just get it back into my bowl. And with your dough hook still on, we're going to do what is called kneading. Now, that makes the dough really silky smooth. I'm going to do it for 5 minutes and we'll check it. So I kneaded mine. As you can see, it's nice and smooth, not sticky, it's beautiful. So get a bowl and put some vegetable oil in the bottom and around the sides. Make sure you do a good job on that. Put your dough in and then flip it. You want the oil on all the sides, okay? Then we're going to put this in a warm, draft-free place covered with a damp cloth. I always use 100% cotton. I got these at IKEA. They are amazing. I have a proofer on my oven, so I'm going to put it in the proofer. But if you don't and your house is a little bit cold, you can get a heating pad and put your bowl on top of the heating pad. Put it on like low or just a little bit above low, and that'll keep it warm. And that's, you want this to double in size for 35 to 40 minutes. And just make sure when you put it in that your towel is not stuck under the bowl, because that's going to rise up, okay? Okay, you guys, I made a mistake, not a big deal. The egg white and the milk go to the side. Don't put it in. I put mine in, but I add a little bit more flour. Mine will be fine. I'm not concerned. This is for brushing on top of the rolls before they go in the oven. I just didn't remember, I didn't read ahead, so that's my fault. But yours will come out fine. Mine will come out fine. No biggie. Now my dough has doubled in size, so we're going to take it out of the bowl. This dough feels amazing, you guys. Like I said, me adding the egg and stuff didn't really matter because I added enough flour, and I'll let you know how it comes out. So that goes in there. Now I'm going to split this into six or 8 pieces, depending on how big you want your rolls, your bread bowls to be, okay? So I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. I'm going to do 6. Alright, so now what you're going to do is put your balls aside and just kind of pat it down. You want to get the air out of it, okay? Once you do that, you're going to roll them into a really nice smooth ball. Just kind of roll it in your hand nicely. And I always do this, so it just kind of makes it nice and round. Okay? Then you're going to place it onto a baking sheet. You're going to cut a slit in the middle, an X. I'm using a serrated knife. Okay? Alright, so there it is. And then you're going to use your egg and your milk, and you're going to mix it together with a fork and then just lightly brush these, not a lot. Then you're going to cover these again with your damp warm towel, and we're going to put them back in to the proofer for another 30 to 40 minutes until they double in size. Once you have them all cut out and you brushed them, you put them on parchment paper. I think I forgot to tell you that. I'm using my Shape to Bakes. I've talked about these a lot. I love them. I use them for everything. Nothing sticks to them. So now we're going to put it in our oven for another 35 to 40 minutes or until double in size. So my bread bowls have risen in double. So now you're going to preheat your oven to 400. You're going to bake them 25 to 30 minutes. And make sure if you tap on them and they sound a little bit hollow, they're probably done. Also, let them sit after they come out of the oven for at least 15 minutes before you cut them to put your soup in, because we want to hold that shape, okay? And if you do 2 pans like I did and you only want to bake one at a time, to prevent these from over-rising, which can happen, put them in the refrigerator until you're ready to put them in the oven. Alright, so here's our finished bread bowls. They're not as deep as I would have liked, but I think what happened was when I put the towel on for the second rise, it really stuck to that egg wash. So what I would recommend doing is taking plastic wrap, spraying Pam on it, and then laying it over on your second rise. and they did not take the full 25, I think, or I did like 20 to 25 minutes, not 25 to 30. Check them. But please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.